It's here. What's poppin' YouTube? I've been very excited for this day for a while. Big Xbox fan, but the Xbox Series X is finally here. If you've been trying to get your hand on one of these, you know that they are selling out like that, literally like within a few minutes of being available to purchase. So all I gotta say is if you are lucky enough to get one of these, you should be thankful. I definitely am incredibly thankful I was able to not only afford one of these, but even get an order in. I'll leave links down below where you can hopefully order a Series X or maybe a Series S. They're very hard to get a hold of, at least right now in November of 2020, but hopefully you'll have some luck. So in this video, we're gonna be unboxing it, taking a closer look at the actual Series X. First impressions right away of the box here. This thing's incredibly heavy when I lifted it up here. I do wanna kind of quickly take a look at some of the old Xbox boxes. So here we have the Xbox One Xbox. This is the Project Scorpio edition. You can see it's just bigger in general. This is actually very reminiscent of how the Xbox One X looks. And this one is very reminiscent of how the Series X looks. Same with the One S here. This one is just thinner overall as opposed to the Series X. But enough talking. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what we get inside the box. So here we have the actual box here. We're going to take a look at that in just a minute here. Before we start, I do want to mention if you're looking for a new headset for your new Xbox, I would highly recommend these Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2s. I did a couple videos of these and I'll leave links to those in the description down below, as well as an iCard here. You can go check these out. These are one of, if not my favorite headsets that I've ever used for a gaming console. I would highly recommend these. Enough of that though, let's check out the actual Xbox Series X box here. So here on the front, we can see it looks like we just have the actual Xbox Series X top-down shot. You can kind of get that green plasticky pattern right there. This is the Series X version. Obviously, we get 4K up to 120 frames per second, and this one comes with a 1TB SSD, which is not going to be enough if you're going to plan to use this a lot. So you're going to eventually have to get an external drive of some sort. Let's flip this over and see the other side of the box, and let me know in the comments down below, are you guys getting the Series X? Are you getting the Series S version? I would love to know. Leave a comment down below. I read all the comments and reply to a lot of them. So let me know what version of Xbox you're getting. So taking a look at the side of the box here, it looks like you can kind of see a picture of the motherboard from the Xbox Series X itself. It goes through some stuff that we just talked about before. So again, 4K, 120 FPS. You get 8K HDR. Get your Xbox Velocity architecture here. Again, that 1TB SSD, a variable refresh rate, and a 4K Blu-ray player. And again, there's a closer look at the actual, looks to be motherboard, or pretty much just all of the Series X in general there. There they have some disclaimers as to what you can and cannot actually run at 4K FPS as well as 8K HDR. And then it also says what is included in the box here. So you get the Xbox Series X console, you get a wireless controller, you get the ultra high speed HDMI cable, and then it does have Wi-Fi built into it. Of course, it does have all these as well. So big thing to note here is that it also has Dolby Vision Atmos, as well as a digital true surround sound. On the back of the box itself, looks like we have a photo of Master Chief here, reminiscent of their Halo Infinite launch game. That is not actually their launch game. Yes, Halo Infinite has been delayed. I'm super upset about it. I don't really even want to talk about it because I'm upset about it, but here it says power your dreams, a picture of Master Chief here, and then just more information that we've kind of went over here. So that's pretty much a look around the box. We don't need to show every single angle here. There's not too much on every side. So let's go ahead and open it up now. So I have not watched any Xbox Series X unboxing videos. I kind of just wanted this to be a bit of a surprise for me. So this will be the first time I'm actually seeing it unboxed at all. Okay, I think we got all of the tape off here. Let's see if we can open it up and see the Xbox itself for the very first time. It looks like right when you open it up there, they have the new Xbox mini fridge. I'm just kidding. This is the actual Xbox Series X here. So we'll just set this off. Oh my gosh, that is heavy. How do we get this out? We got it out here. This is incredibly heavy. This is by far the most heavy console I've ever held. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. We'll just leave that there and let's see what else we get inside of the actual box here. So we just got some styrofoam, and it looks like here we have what looks to be some instruction. Yeah, it looks like some instructions on how to actually set up the console, where to plug everything in, and then how to set up the Xbox app to actually set up the console itself. Now, we shouldn't need this if you're into gaming or technology in general. You should be able to figure it out, but it's nice that they include this, I guess. On the back here, it just shows you how to actually put batteries in the controller, how to sync the controller. I'm gonna set this off to the side as well, because we don't really need that. Let's take a look at the accessories. I see there's a little compartment here. This should be where we get the cords and controller. Let's take a look at the cords first here. We do have that high-speed HDMI cable. If you get an Xbox Series X, use this cable. Just trust me, use this cable. And it looks like we also get the power cable here. to power the actual console. You have your product and kind of warranty guide here. Don't really need this either. And then here we have what looks to be the controller, and this is actually slightly different from previous generation Xbox controllers. So let's take a look at this. So here we go. And there's actually something else in here. I think the batteries. So they do include batteries. Awesome, thank you. We won't be needing those because we'll probably use rechargeables. But here we have the actual new designed Xbox controller. So there's no kind of indent here anymore. The triggers have grips on them here, and there's just more grips on the back in general. In addition to that, there's also a share button and USB-C. USB-C. Let's set this off to the side. Let's get everything out of the way and take a closer look at both the controller as well as the Xbox Series X. So I now want to take a look at the actual Xbox Series X console here. So let's take this out of the kind of plastic that it has here. All right, here we go. This should be the last piece of tape, and then we can take a look at the new Xbox console. So here it is. Again, incredibly heavy console. I'm actually kind of nervous picking this up with one hand. But there you have it. So this is it on its side here. Quickly going over some of the ports here. You have a USB-A port. Looks to be the sync button for the controller. You got the disk drive here, as well as the ejection, and then the power button right there. Really just kind of a nice matte finish here. You got an Xbox logo up top there. And then on the top, you can see we have a big vent port, and you can see that green there depending on what angle you put it at. And on the back here, or on the bottom, I guess you could say, you have some feet here, and then it's kind of fingerprinty. Luckily you're not touching a console too much though, but you got feet here in case you want to lay it on its side. And looks like we have the actual base here if you want to put it upright. And inside there you can kind of see how that green is painted. You can't see too well inside there, but you can see a little bit. And here we get a closer look at the actual back. So we have two USB-A ports here. We have an Ethernet port. We have the actual power port, an HDMI out, as well as their custom storage expansion to put another SSD memory card or an SSD in there. So I want to take a closer look at the actual controller here. So here's the new Xbox controller. You can see on the back here there's some grip. Hopefully you can make that out on camera. And on the actual triggers now there is some grip as well, and that's all new. Again, a USB-C port here. What I want to do is set that off to the side and compare it to an Xbox One X controller. So this will work with the Series X, but this is technically a One X controller here, and you can see the difference kind of right away. You can tell that this has kind of an indent right here. There's not as much grip on the back. There's no grip on the actual triggers. It's kind of got glossy black, and then it also has a micro USB port here. Now, setting the Xbox One X controller off to the side and grabbing a Elite Series 1 controller, you can see it gets even more drastically different. So again, an indent here. There is a lot more grip on the back of this itself, but you do have that glossy plastic up here on the triggers with no grip. I can tell you right away, I like having the grip on the triggers, I like having the extra grip on the back, and I like this new D-pad as well. In addition to that share button could be useful as well. That could be very handy to have. All right, so there you have it, guys, the unboxing of the new Xbox Series X. If we want to quickly compare the Xbox Series X to something like the Xbox One X, you can kind of quickly see here, this isn't a great angle, but just to give you an idea, significantly wider, I guess you could say. The height is pretty much about the same, but the big difference here is when you turn this one to the side and turn this to the side, that's where you can kind of see the big difference. So this one's kind of longer, not as wide, but this one is uniform all around in that square angle, but overall just kind of more fridgy, I guess you could say. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more technology and gaming videos. And if you're looking for a new headset, again, check out my Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2 review. And let me know in the comments down below what Xbox you guys are getting. Are you getting a Series X? Are you going to try to get a Series S? Maybe you're going to get a PS5. Let me know. I reply to pretty much all the comments. I love having conversations down there with you. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go set this thing up and play a few games on it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching the video.